house is built in Pooh Corner for Eeyore. Adapted from the story by A. Milne, with decorations by E. Shepard. One day, when Pooh Bear had nothing to do, he thought he'd do something. So he went round to Piglet's house to see what Piglet was doing. It was still snowing, and he expected to find Piglet warming his toes in front of his fire. But to his surprise, the more he saw the door open, and the more he looked inside, the more Piglet wasn't there. "He's out. That's what it is. He's not in. I shall have to go a fast-thinking walk by myself. Bother. The more it snows, tiddly-pom, the more it goes, tiddly-pom, the more it goes, tiddly-pom on snowing. And nobody knows, tiddly-pom, how cold my toes, tiddly-pom, how cold my toes, tiddly-pom are growing. So what I'll do is, I'll do this. I'll just go home first and see what time it is. And perhaps I'll put on a muffler on my neck, and then I'll go and see Eeyore and sing it to him." "Hello, Piglet. I thought you were out."
"No, it's you who were out, Pooh."
"So it was. I knew one of us was. Ah, I see. Nearly 11 o'clock. You're just in time for a little smackerel of something. And then we'll go out, Piglet, and sing my song to Eeyore."
"Which song, Pooh?"
"The one we're going to sing to Eeyore." The clock was still saying 5 minutes to 11 when Pooh and Piglet set out on their way an hour later. The wind had dropped, and the snow, tired of rushing around in circles trying to catch itself up, now fluttered gently down until it found a place on which to rest. And sometimes the place was Pooh's nose, and sometimes it wasn't. And in a little while, Piglet was wearing a white muffler round his neck, and feeling more snowy behind the ears than he had ever felt before.
"Pooh, I was just wondering, how would it be if we went home now and practiced your song, and then sang it for Eeyore tomorrow, or the next day, when we happen to see him?"
"That's a good idea, Piglet. We'll practice it now as we go along. But it's no good going home to practice it, because it's a special outdoor song which has to be sung in the snow."
"Are you sure?"
"Well, Piglet, you'll see when you listen, because this is how it begins. The more it snows, tiddly-pom."
"Tiddly what?"
"Pom. I put that in to make it more hummy. The more it goes, tiddly-pom, the more..."
"Didn't you say it snows?"
"Yes, but that was before."
"Before the tiddly-pom?"
"It was a different tiddly-pom. I'll sing it to you properly, and you'll see. The more it snows, tiddly-pom, the more it goes, tiddly-pom. The more it goes, tiddly-pom, on snowing. And nobody knows, tiddly-pom, how cold my toes, tiddly-pom, how cold my toes, tiddly-pom, are growing. Well?
Pooh, it isn't the toes so much as the ears. By the time they were getting nearer to Eeyore's gloomy place, which was where he lived, they turned into a little pine wood near a gate which led into it.
I've been thinking, and what I've been thinking is this. I've been thinking about Eeyore.
What about Eeyore?
Well, poor Eeyore has nowhere to live.
Nor has he.
You have a house, Piglet, and I have a house, and they are very good houses. And Christopher Robin has a house, and Owl and Kanga and Rabbit have houses. Even Rabbit's friends and relations have houses or some things. But poor Eeyore has nothing. So what I've been thinking is this. Let's build him a house.
That is a grand idea. Where shall we build it?
We will build it here, just by this wood out of the wind, because this is where I thought of it. And we will call this Pooh Corner. And we will build a house, an Eeyore house, with sticks at Pooh Corner for Eeyore.
There was a heap of sticks on the other side of the wood. I saw them, lots and lots, all piled up.
Thank you, Piglet. What you have just said will be a great help to us. And because of it, I could call this place Pooh and Piglet Corner, if Pooh Corner didn't sound better, which it does, being smaller and more like a corner. Come on.
Christopher Robin had spent the morning indoors going to Africa and back, and he had just got off the boat and was wondering what it was like outside, when who should come knocking at the door but Eeyore. Hello, Eeyore. How are you?
It's snowing still.
So it is.
And freezing.
Is it?
Yes. However, we haven't had an earthquake lately.
What's the matter, Eeyore?
Nothing, Christopher Robin. Nothing important. I suppose you haven't seen a house or whatnot anywhere about?
What sort of house?
Just a house.
Well, who lives there?
I do. At least I thought I did. But I suppose I don't. After all, we can't all have houses.
But Eeyore, I didn't know.
I always thought, I don't know how it is, Christopher Robin. But what with all this snow and one thing and another, not to mention icicles and such like, it isn't so hot in my field about 3 o'clock in the morning as some people think it is. It isn't close, if you know what I mean. Not so as to be uncomfortable. It isn't stuffy. In fact, Christopher Robin, quite between ourselves and don't tell anybody, it's cold.
Oh, Eeyore.
And I said to myself, the others will be sorry if I'm getting myself all cold. They haven't got brains, any of them. Only gray fluff that's blown into their heads by mistake. And they don't think. But if it goes on snowing for another 6 weeks or so, one of them will begin to say to himself, Eeyore can't be so very much too hot about 3 o'clock in the morning. And then it will get about. And they'll be sorry.
Oh, Eeyore.
I don't mean you, Christopher Robin. You're different. So, what it all comes to is that I built myself a house down by my little wood.
Did you really? How exciting.
The really exciting part is that when I left it this morning, it was there. And when I came back, it wasn't. Not at all. Very natural, and it was only Eeyore's house, but still I just wondered. We'll go look for it at once. Sometimes when people have quite finished taking a person's house, there are one or two bits they don't want, and are rather glad for a person to take back, if you know what I mean. So I thought if we just went.
Come on.
And off they hurried. In a very little time, they got to the corner of the field by the side of the pine wood, where Eeyore's house wasn't any longer.
There. Not a stick of it left. Of course, I've still got all this snow to do what I like with. One mustn't complain.
Can't you hear it?
What is it? Somebody laughing?
Listen.
It's Pooh, possibly, and Piglet, probably. What we want is a trained bloodhound. We finished our house. Tiddly-pum, it's a beautiful house. Tiddly-pum, I wish it were mine. Tiddly-pum. Pooh, it's Christopher Robin.
He's round by that place where we got all those sticks from.
Come on. Why, here is Eeyore. Hello, Eeyore.
Same to you, Pooh Bear, and twice on Thursdays.
Oh, Pooh Bear, we were just looking for Eeyore's house, which seems to have disappeared. It's been so cold at night that he built one for himself out of sticks. It was here when he left in the morning, and when he came back, it was gone.
Where did you say it was?
Just here.
Made of sticks.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
I just said oh.
You're sure it was a house? I mean, you're sure the house was just here?
Of course I am. No brain at all, settled.
Why, what's the matter, Pooh?
Well, the fact is... Well, the fact is... You see, it's like this.
It's like this. Only warmer.
What's warmer?
The other side of the wood, where Eeyore's house is.
My house. My house was here.
No, the other side of the wood.
Because of being warmer.
But I ought to know.
Come and look.
There wouldn't be two houses, not so close together. They all came round the corner, and there was Eeyore's house, looking as comfy as anything.
Well, there you are.
Inside as well as outside. It's a remarkable thing. It is my house, and I built it where I said I did. So, the wind must have blown it here. And the wind blew it right over the wood and blew it down here. And here it is, good as ever. In fact, better in places. Oh, much better.
Much better.
It just goes to show what can be done by taking a little trouble. Do you see, Pooh? Do you see, Piglet? Brains first and then hard work. Look at it. That's the way to build a house.
So, Christopher Robin left Eeyore in his house and went back to lunch with his friends Pooh and Piglet. On the way they told him of the awful mistake they had made, and when they had finished laughing, they all sang the outdoor song for snowy weather the rest of the way home. Piglet, who was still not quite sure of his voice, put in the tiddly-poms again.
Tiddly-pom. I know it seems easy, but it isn't everyone who could do it.